Hi guys, today we are discussing the pathology of cardiovascular system. Okay, so we'll start with the rheumatic fever. First of all, the important pathology what is called as rheumatic fever. Okay, so the first thing you have to know is who causes or which bacteria causes rheumatic fever. Okay, this is caused by group A beta hemolyticus. Group A beta hemolyticus streptococcus. Okay, you can write it as GABHS. That is group A beta hemolyticus streptococcus. Now this is the first point you have to know. Now the second point. Now this is a disease affecting the heart, right? Rheumatic fever is a disease affecting the heart. Now this disease is not communicable. This is not communicable because it is just a molecular mimicry. What is the phenomenon here? It is just a molecular mimicry. So it is not communicable, as well as the phenomena showing here is known as what? Very important, molecular mimicry. What is that? Molecular mimicry. So you know mimicry, right? Daily life you see a lot of mimicry, right? Mimicry means what? We are trying to mimic, or we are trying to be like same as that. So here it is molecular mimicry. Here what happening is that there is a M protein in bacteria. The protein name is M. This M protein they mimics, okay, they mimics the protein of our heart. Mainly the endocardium. We have M protein inside endocardium as well as the whole membrane of heart. So what is the mimicry here? The M protein. The M protein of bacteria is similar to what? The M protein inside the pericardium endocardium of heart as well as the membrane protein all over the heart. So mimicry is what? The M protein that is similar to M protein of bacteria is similar to M protein in endocardium as well as in all membrane of heart as well as the membrane protein of heart. So what happened is, whenever the rheumatic fever is over, okay, when the bacteria is infected, what our body think, there is still what the bacteria inside heart, because the protein of bacteria is similar to the normal protein in the heart. Okay, so the body start to react. So we call it as what? A rheumatic fever. Now for us what is important, there is a criteria known as Jones criteria. Okay, Jones, that is a scientist or the person who classified how to diagnose, how to confirm this is that a rheumatic fever. So we have Jones major criteria and Jones minor criteria, and we have exclusive criteria for rheumatic fever. So we will see what is the difference between major, minor and exclusive criteria. So what is the criteria name? That is Jones criteria. Criteria is called Jones criteria. Okay. Yes. You know John, right? Remember Jones criteria. We have a lot of friends with the name John. So that is for rheumatic fever. So we can divide it into three groups. Okay. First one is our major. Then you have minor, and the third group include exclusive. Third group include exclusive. In major, make it Jones itself. You can remember. Okay, Jones. So what are the major criteria for rheumatic fever? Here J, you can remember, it is polyarthritis. Joints. J is joints, so they are affecting the joints. Polyarthritis. Okay. It is not only polyarthritis, you have to remember, because in MCQ I will give you, is it migratory or not? This one is migratory. This one is migratory. So keep in mind what type of polyarthritis. Migratory means it can migrate from the joints. Okay, so it is a type of migratory polyarthritis. So Jones criteria here, J is for what? Joints. You can remember. So as well as remember, it is mainly affecting big joints. Mainly affect not the small joints, big joints, and they are symmetrical. What? They are not unsymmetrical. They are symmetrical. So this is an MCQ. A good MCQ. Now remember O4. So for O it is our pancarditis. Now just to make the mnemonics, can remember it is A, or it is for heart. O for pancarditis. So second major criteria is what? Pancarditis, the inflammation of the heart layer. Okay. Then N for nodule formation. N for nodules. Nodules is what type? Nodules is of subcutaneous type. Okay, subcutaneous nodules. Here E for erythema. You can see reddening. Erythema marginatum. Erythema marginatum. Then last one, S is very, very important. It is known as Sydenham chorea. What is that as? Sydenham chorea. Okay. Sydenham chorea means, chorea means like something with, Huntington's chorea, right? So like chorea means something related with the movement. So in Sydenham chorea it is actually the walking difficulty. Okay, the walking difficulty. So as a mnemonics you can remember, Jones criteria major include JONES. J here it is polyarthritis. Polyarthritis symmetrical and is for big joints, as well as remember it is migratory. And O for what? Pancarditis. N is for nodules formation, subcutaneous nodules. E like erythema marginatum. Then S is for Sydenham chorea. That is nothing but walking difficulty. So clear the major criteria. Now we will go to the minor criteria. Okay. First minor criteria include fever, as rheumatic fever, right? It will be fever, then it will be arthralgia, pain in joints, arthralgia. Then in ECG you can see changes, that is ECG changes. Okay, mainly in ST segment, you can see changes in ST segment. Now there will be, this is inflammation, right? So ESR, erythrocyte sedimentation rate, ESR also increases. ESR also increases. So minor criteria include fever, arthralgia, then ECG changes, the ST segment, and increase in erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Now next is our exclusive. Okay, first one in exclusive is this one. They are culture positive. So from where you take culture, you take from throat. You take swab from throat swab. Now they are positive for anti-streptolysin O. Okay. So this is the streptolysin O is the antigen present. So they will be positive for anti-streptolysin O. So these are the exclusive. Exclusive will be always present. Exclusive, they are exclusive for rheumatic fever. Okay. So now for diagnosing we need To diagnose this is rheumatic fever, you can write it as ASLO, okay, short form, anti-streptomycin O. Okay. Now, for diagnosing, you can have two major criteria plus one minor criteria, or two minor criteria plus one major criteria. So if you have both and along with the what? Along with exclusive. If I write it here, you will confuse. See, and then that is to confirm the diagnosis. Okay, you can have two major plus one minor, or two minor plus one major. Okay, or then exclusive will be always there. Exclusive criteria, you have to look for it. Okay, so two major or one minor you can have, or two minor plus one major. So you confirm what this is rheumatic fever. So this is the important criteria you have to remember for all MCQ. Now they will ask you among these which one is the typical criteria first to appear. Okay, among major, this one is the polyarthritis. Migratory polyarthritis is the first to appear. And they will ask you clinically what will appear last. Sydenham chorea is last to appear. So keep in mind, first to appear is migratory polyarthritis, last to appear is Sydenham chorea. Clear? Now next question. They will ask you what is the treatment? This one is no good. So what is the treatment? So treatment for rheumatic fever you will give is our penicillin group. Antibiotic what? This is caused by a bacteria, right? Streptococcus. So we will give the treatment penicillin group. So these are the main MCQ asked in all the competitive exam. Treatment for rheumatic fever is antibiotic from penicillin group, typical or classical. Now some important characters we will discuss. Okay, what you have to remember from this. So clear what is rheumatic fever, who causes that, what is the criteria, what are the difference between the major, minor and exclusive criteria, okay, which one will appear first. Now if this rheumatic fever continues, okay, the child can overcome the rheumatic fever and he was suffering. So in adult, rheumatic fever in adult, you call it as what? Rheumatic heart disease. In adult we call it as rheumatic heart disease. So this is an MCQ. So rheumatic fever in adult is called what? Rheumatic heart disease. Now next point is in rheumatic heart disease, which valve? We have tricuspid valve in the right side and bicuspid or mitral valve. In rheumatic fever, the valve affected is what? Mainly the mitral valve. Okay, mitral valve. Mitral valve can have two problems. One, they can have stenosis, narrowing, or regurgitation. What is the difference? In stenosis, blood move in the same direction. In regurgitation, blood in opposite direction or reverse. Okay, opposite direction. So you can see mitral valve stenosis. This mitral valve stenosis, it is too severe. Okay, it is too severe in rheumatic fever. So you call it as a separate name. The name is fish mouth stenosis. Or you can call it as buttonhole stenosis. Okay, these two severe buttonholes. These are MCQ. Fish mouth stenosis or buttonhole stenosis is seen in what? It is seen in rheumatic fever. So because of mitral valve stenosis. Now next point that you have to remember is that So there is specific type of bodies. Okay, in the blood you can see specific type of bodies. In rheumatic fever, they are known as Aschoff bodies. What you can see? So Aschoff bodies are seen in what? Aschoff bodies are seen in rheumatic fever. Morphology, pathology. You can remember. So they will give you Aschoff bodies in the question. So they are going to the rheumatic fever. The next point that is very important is that now sometimes in the rheumatic fever, pericardium will be sandwiched with what? The necrotic fibers. You call it as what? You call it as bread butter. Okay, you call it as bread butter. So there will be a sandwich like structure. Sandwich is by in the pericardium will be sandwiched with the necrotic fibers. You call it as bread butter pericarditis. Bread butter. So it's not working. The bread butter pericarditis. Clear? So these are all are MCQ fish mouth buttonhole. Then the sandwich. What I use? The buttonhole. The sandwich is what? Pericardium will be sandwiched with the necrotic fiber. So you call it as bread butter pericarditis. Okay. Now specific type of bodies is due to what? The Aschoff body is due to the necrosis, fibrinoid necrosis. So all these things you are seeing in what? In the rheumatic fever. Okay. Now you have to remember two more terms. You can see some deposition of tissues. They are having specific name. First is McClough plaque. Second is Andy-Sco cells. So these are the two depositions you are seeing in what? Rheumatic fever tissue as a deposition is, sorry, not maculum. Okay, maculum plaque. MACCULM. Maculum plaque and Andy-Sco cells. Maculum plaque and Andy-Sco cells. They are seen in what? Rheumatic fever. Okay. So these are the main important things that you have to remember about rheumatic fever. Okay. So in a short, what we have studied, we have the fish mouth stenosis or buttonhole stenosis in rheumatic fever, Aschoff body due to fibrinoid necrosis. Then we have sandwich, we call it as bread butter pericarditis because pericardium will be. Then here two deposition, that is what? Maculum plaque and Andy-Sco cells. Okay, Andy-Sco cells. These are the two deposition you are seeing in what? The rheumatic fever. Okay, so everyone is clear. So at least you have to remember this rheumatic fever. Now next we will discuss the endocarditis. You can see there are different types. Endocarditis or there are different types. The spelling here is McCallum. Again, McCallum plaque. And Andy-Sco. These are the deposition you are seeing in what? Rheumatic fever. So what the important things you have to remember? Rheumatic fever is caused by which bacteria? Group A, beta hemolyticus streptococcus. Okay, it is non-communicable. It is showing a mimicry of M protein in endocardium and the membrane proteins. Okay, then we have Jones criteria. Jones, J for polyarthritis, migratory type, symmetrical and big joints. O, pancarditis. N for what? Nodule, subcutaneous nodule. E for erythema. erythema marginatum, and S for synthenum chorea. That is what the walking difficulty. And here minor criteria include arthralgia, then the fever, then ECG changes, ST segment, then what ESR increase, then exclusive you include what throat culture positive, like we will culture the throat swab and you can say anti-streptolysin O, okay, ASLO test, that is anti-streptolysin O will be positive. Then the next thing you have to remember, we are treating it with the penicillin group of antibiotics. Now next thing, the first symptom to appear is polyarthritis, and last is what our syndrome chorea clinically. Then we have a sandwich here, right? The pericardium will be sandwiched with the fibronecrosis tissue. We call it as what bread butter pancreatitis, bread butter pancreatitis. And the mitral valve is mainly affected. They are stenosed. So this stenosis is called fish mouth stenosis, or what? Fish mouth stenosis or buttonhole stenosis. The next thing you have to remember, the portion of body maculum plaque, and we have what? Anti-scope cells. So I think this will be enough for to write a competitive exam. So all MCQ will be from here about rheumatic fever. Okay. So clear? Thank you.